Hello and welcome to another creature tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to use the flap deformation motor to make flapping wings of creatures. Now, to start off the tutorial, you notice that I already have a very basic rig, and the rig consists of a wing of a dragon and the body of a dragon. And the rig is, well, it's really simple. It's just 3 bones representing the body and 3 bones representing the wing. I've already tested it and weighted the bones so it works with skinning, so you can see all the different regions respond to the bone deformations. Okay, so let's get started. Go to animate mode. Right, so our task today is to learn how to use the flap deformation motor to flap this dragon wing over here. And we're going to do something pretty fancy. You'll see in a moment. So the first thing we want to do is to make this wing flap up and down. It's very easy to do that in Creature. You go to Regions, click on the Regions tab, select the wing region, the wing mesh over here. Click on Install Molter. And look at that. There's a motor called Flap Molter. It says scales and shrinks the mesh like a flapping wing. That's exactly what we want. Click on that. Okay. And if we play it, there, we have a very basic flapping wing. Looks a bit like cardboard, so we're going to tweak it a bit to make it slightly more interesting. Now, before we continue, you notice there's a couple of parameters you can change. There's phase that determines where in the flap animation this wing starts. Before I continue again, just note that all these parameters are keyable over time. And then the other parameter is speed. So if we up the flapping of the wing to 5 and then play it, there, the wing flaps a lot faster. So speed determines how quickly the wing flaps, and you can key this over time as well. Okay, so I could end this tutorial right now and say I'm done, but let's not do that. Let's do something a bit more interesting. Now, you notice that when wings of creatures flap, there's a twist and a bend in the overall animation. It doesn't just flap up and down. That's fine, but a bit boring. And what actually happens is, well, the best way to illustrate it is to actually start rotating these bones using FK, and you see what I mean. Now, if I rotate this over here, you notice I get some kind of deformation on the wing. If I rotate the tip of the bones, I too get another deformation, and if I rotate the base wing bone, I get another deformation. So the idea is it would be great if we could have the flapping wing, and we could also have some kind of animation, some kind of motion for these 3 wing bones to generate some kind of twisting motion. And if we do it just the right way, we're going to get a twisting wing of this dragon. And so, okay, so you're thinking, well, that sounds pretty hard. Not as hard as you think it is. Let's start by installing a rotate cycle motor on the base wing. Okay, so I have a rotate cycle motor on the base wing, and let's give it small end and start angles. So if I give it 5 degrees end and -5 degrees start, and remember I need it to rotate at the same speed as my flapping wing. So we had the speed of the flapping wing at 5, so we'll also set this rotate cycle to 5. Right, if I play it, okay, slightly interesting. There's a slight twist. Now don't worry about the tips because we deformed it using FK. We're going to fix that in a moment. Now, it'd be great if there was some kind of follow-through animation, because the base of the wing is twisting, and the tips of the wing should follow through, have a follow-through action based on the base of the wing. It should be driven by that. And to do that, we're going to use the bend physics motor. If you want to learn more about bend physics and other physics motors, please watch the tutorial on physics motors. But for now, let's select these 2 bones at the end, click on Install Motor, and click Bend Physics Motor. And I'm also going to select the Motion Physics mode because we need more motion. Now, I'm going to give it a little less stiffness because I want a bit more action. Let's see what happens with 25. And I'm going to turn off gravity because we don't actually want the gravitational pull to pull this down. We just want the follow-through motion to be driven completely by the base rotate cycle bone over here. Now let's play it. And there you go. Isn't that pretty cool? We have, let's repeat that. We have a flapping wing with a slight twisting motion. Now if I step through the frames, you notice it almost looks as if the wing is flapping down and folding in just like a real bat or real bird. So that's pretty cool. Right. And I can basically change these parameters and they will change the way the wing twists. So if I set the the end angle to say 10 degrees, if I play it, it will twist a bit more. You see that, right? So just by playing around with those parameters, you can get some really interesting effects without too much effort and time. And yeah, so that's basically the wing tutorial that basically consists of selecting your mesh region, installing the flap deformation motor, and then installing a rotate cycle motor at the base bone, and then you go in and install a band physics motor for the tip bones. And all that's required is tweaking the parameters to get the desired twisting or folding wing effect you want. I'm going to set this back to less bending because that was a bit too much, but it was for illustration purposes. So that concludes our flapping wing tutorial. Have fun animating!